localwebradio.fm, your trusted voices on the Semiahmoo Peninsula.
Welcome to the Mortgage NewsCast with Jared Dreyer, brought to you by Dreyer Group Mortgages. Now, here's your host.
Well, yes, I'm Erik Reynolds, and I'm back again as your host, and I'm here with Jared Dreyer, accredited mortgage professional and president of Dreyer Group Mortgages, a proud member of the Verico Brokers Network. And today we'll be talking with Jared about owning a strata property, and if owning an apartment or townhome isn't a good investment. Before Jared joins us, just as a reminder that if you have questions or require assistance, you've got to talk to Jared and his team at Dreyer Group Mortgages at 1-800-687-9020. Again, that's 1-800-687-9020. Well, Jared, as always, great to be talking with you again today.
Absolutely, Erik. I really enjoy our conversations together.
Yeah, they're great conversations. I tell you, I'm learning so much. I know the listeners are. And we're going to dive into a subject we haven't talked about yet, and that's strata property. So let me ask this. You know, Jared, everywhere you look, there are condos and townhomes in development and for sale. Why would someone purchase a condo or a townhome?
Well, basically, I mean, you would purchase a condo, a townhome for various reasons. And, you know, key thing is lifestyle. You got to look at, do you want to be have a lock-and-go lifestyle, right? And many home buyers are attracted to that. Low maintenance is a very key thing. You don't all the upkeep and maintenance of the outside of the unit is done by your strata management company. And also think there's great amenities. You got gyms, swimming pools. Sometimes they have, you know, saunas, steam rooms. They have, you know, exercise facilities. And of course, you know, there's always a new home warranty in place for at least 10 years if there's something it's a newer building.
Well, now, are there any disadvantages though to owning a strata property?
Well, there's disadvantages to owning any type of property, right? You know, particularly, right? And what you want to make sure is for strata homes, they are not for everyone. The key thing is obviously the privacy factor. You got to look at that. In townhomes, you'll be sharing at least one wall with your neighbors, potentially two. In an apartment, your neighbors could be living directly beside, below, or above you. And not all buildings are owner-occupied. Some have tenants living in the building, so it's important to check to see if there are any rental restrictions. And you want to make sure that you know, the strata council as well is well run and there's good meetings and to review the strata amendments to make sure it's the type of building you want to be involved in. And I think one of the key things is that you want to make sure that the strata fees have been up to date and maintenance is up to date, so there's not going to be future issues down the road for you.
Well, Jared, I have a couple more questions about the strata purchase and owning a strata property, but let's go ahead and take our break. And we'll be right back with Jared Dreyer, accredited mortgage professional. And when we return, we'll be discussing what should potential buyers be looking for when they purchase a strata property. We'll be right back.
The Mortgage NewsCast with Jared Dreyer will return after a quick word from our sponsors.
Take control of your financial future with sound investing with Byron Stryloff, Senior Investment Advisor and Chartered Financial Planner with over 30 years of experience on the Business Channel on localwebradio.fm.
If you're struggling with a dental or oral health issue, be sure to catch the Healthy Smiles Oral Health Show with Dr. Norm Ickert on the Health Channel on localwebradio.fm.
Buying or selling a home on the Semiahmoo Peninsula? Catch up on local market conditions on This Week in Real Estate with Lance and Connie Marples from Sutton West Coast Realty on localwebradio.fm. To schedule a face-to-face consultation, you can reach Lance and Connie at 604-538-8888. That's 604-538-8888. And visit them online at www.surreywhiterockhomes.com. Now, back to the Mortgage NewsCast with Jared Dreyer on localwebradio.fm.
All right, we're back again with Jared Dreyer. Now, Jared, what should potential buyers be looking for when they purchase a strata property?
Well, Eric, that's a fantastic question because, there's good things that they should be looking at, and that is they got to look at where are the monthly strata fees. What do those monthly strata fees include? Like, is it heat, maintenance, what's involved in the apartment building or townhouse building? You need to carefully read, as I mentioned before, the last 2 years of minutes. You need to know what type of maintenance has been done. Is there been any special assessments or any special AGM meetings to show what has been going on in the strata building? And basically, you can get a 24-month snapshot of what type of condition that strata unit is. I would also recommend talking to existing owners, as they'll give you a sense of the building dynamics. And have there been any, of course, renovations or upgrades to the building in the last 5 years? I mean, that's a key thing you want to see. If there has been special assessments in the past, have they been all fixed and up to date? You want to make sure that everything's been reviewed, from the Strata Corporation, and all work has been completed. And finally, you want to take a look at what the contingency fund is in case there are any future issues. Are they building up a large contingency fund? What is the current value of that contingency fund? Those are all key issues that you want to make sure that you work with your real estate agent when purchasing a strata condo.
Now, Jared, before we go today, do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with the listeners?
Well, before you go on your condo shopping journey, make sure you have the expertise of a strong real estate professional to help you. They are the experts, and they'll be able to collect all the documentation required for you to make an informed decision. And they will be able to have the opportunity to, if you don't know the answers, they can get the answers for you. So they can review to make sure you know what's going on. And that's the key thing, is you want to, again, you want to review all the minutes, review all the bylaws, review all the AGMs.
Well, Jared, great conversation again, and thanks so much for sharing this valuable information about strata living and answering the most common questions buyers might have. Now, for the listener, if you know someone who owns a home, would have questions, maybe looking into purchasing a strata, it would benefit from what we talked about today, share this podcast with them. I promise you they'll thank you for it. Now, if you have mortgage questions yourself, or maybe considering refinancing, maybe looking into a strata yourself, you've got to talk to Jared and his team at Dreyer Group Mortgages, and you can reach them at 1-800-687-9020, or you can visit their website, visit them online at www.dreyergroup.ca. Well, Jared, as always, it's been great talking with you today.
Eric, it's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks for listening. To learn more about Dreyer Group Mortgages, visit www.dreyergroup.ca. That's www.dreyergroup.ca. Or call 604-536-3802. That's 604-536-3802.
localwebradio.fm.
This episode is a production of Jam Media. For information on hosting your own web radio show, visit jammedia.com. That's www.jambmedia.com.
The opinions expressed by our guest and host on localwebradio.fm do not necessarily reflect the views of Jam Media or its owners. No expressed or implied opinions of any product or service should be considered an endorsement or recommendation of any kind by Jam Media or its owners.